6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
International superstar, Miss Butter B. Rocker!
You are now tuned in to Butter B. Rocker on Transparency Talks Podcast.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Transparency Talks Podcast. I am your girl, Butter B. Rocker. Listen, we have an amazing show for you today. She is a director, a producer, a screenwriter. Can you please show some love for Queen? Hello,
Hey,
Queen.
how
How
you
you
doing?
doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing really good. Listen, I know that you are on set because you're
Yes.
a very busy
Yeah.
woman. So I'm not going to take up too much of your time. Can you give everybody a little bit of background about yourself?
Yeah. So, my name is Queen Norris. I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York. Been in Atlanta about 9 years next month. Started writing when I was in diapers. Always knew I was gonna be a writer. I didn't get into cameras until I was in like the 8th grade. And then I just took my new love and my old love and just married them and said I'm gonna become a filmmaker, and that's kind of where it's been.
Well, Queen, I know that you are on set, so I'm going to get to all my good questions for you because you got called to set, and that's how it
Yes,
is.
yes. I like literally just on Thursday they called me to come help out. They was having crisis, and they asked me to come on and consult. They're all brand new filmmakers, first movie, and so they asked me to come on and consult, which means I'm doing everything. I'm just trying to help out, make sure that the budget stays where it's supposed to be, helping the director out, the EP especially because it's his first movie, and I want to make sure what he's getting his money's worth, and I want to make sure his money stays in the amount he says he want to spend. I want to make sure it stays that way.
Definitely. You have a new film coming out yourself
Yes.
that you just dropped the trailer on called Thanksgiving. Can you tell everybody
Yes.
about that?
Yes. So Thanksgiving is a comedy. It's about a college boy, look kind of nerdy guy whose family. Sorry, I'm outside because I'm on set. It's loud. He's a college kid, nerdy college guy who comes from a ratchet family, and he comes home for Thanksgiving, and Grandma sent him and his wannabe cousins to the grocery store, and on the way, they getting a mountain of trouble. So it's just different things that happens on the way to them getting groceries for Grandma, and them having to get the groceries and make it back to the house before Grandma started tripping.
Okay. And who do you have featured on this film?
So we have comedian B Jones. He's a big Instagram comedian. Y'all check him out. Funny guy. We have Marquise from Snowfall, Walking Dead. He's in Snowfall. I'm sorry. He's in Snowfall, Walking Dead. He was in ATL. He's been in Meet the Pains. He has a plethora of movies. Young Jock is in the film. We have another guy named Chaz. I think Chaz is like a industry. He was in the music industry for a long time, and now he's crossing over into acting. Um, then we have Dwayne Finley from The Wood. He plays, I think, Slim in The Wood. So yeah, we got a couple good funny people in the film.
Now, this is your second film that you have produced, directed, and wrote. That's your project, correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Well,
Second one,
congratulations.
yes,
Your first film, I had the pleasure of going to the premiere
yeah,
till my casket drops.
yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So till my casket drop is it's a drama. People say it's a hood movie. I guess it's classified technically, but it's really a drama. It's really about a film. It's a film about a young man who's struggling between his best friend. It's a huge conflict he's having between his best friend and his best friend's girlfriend. He finds out that his best friend is like, you know, beating up his girl, and he's conflicted. It's like, man, do I save the girl or do I, do the loyal thing, and always ride with the homie. And so he had to really come to grips on, who he wanted to be and what he wanted to do in order to move forward with his life and figure out who he is as a person.
Okay. Now, it's my understanding that idea came from a book that
Yeah,
you then converted into an actual film and
right.
had to finish doing all the writing. Now, I also have written a book and written a play, but as you know, writing a film is completely different. So how did you take the concept and was able to merge it into the whole film?
Yes. So the book, I don't want to say it's completely different from the film, but it is different because in books, you can be as detailed as you want. You can have a 300, 400 page book. You can't do that in screenwriting. So I had to eliminate so much. I took the core story, personality trait from the main characters, and then just created a good storyline with them. I took a lot out of the book. I really took, like I said, just the big pieces and created an entirely different story with the same kind of baseline.
Yeah.
And the writer is also the EP of the film. And at first, I was kind of scared. When I finished writing, I was thinking, man, he's gonna be mad because I really dissected his book and I took everything out, and I don't know how he's gonna feel about it because we're artists and we're sensitive about our ish. So, but he was extremely happy. He loved the script. He said, "Let's do it." We shot it like 2 months later. We did all the casting and stuff. We shot it. The movie came out fantastic. It's doing well on Tubi right now. Like it's been a good ride.
Okay. Now, what people might not know is that you were the editor that came in and saved the day on my own project,
Yes,
finding the perfect guy.
yes,
And I just want to publicly say thank you so much because you know how we received the files and how
yes,
crazy it was.
yes,
And you
yes,
was able to piece everything together. And one of the things that I truly appreciated, knowing that I am a brand new writer, director, and producer, you was explaining things as we was going along that helped me understand some of the
yes,
processes. And then not only that, you allowed me to come on one of your sets to see you behind the scenes, which
yeah,
also helped me. So I appreciate that because it's not a lot of people that will do that. So I honestly want to say thank you so much.
yeah. No problem. I don't believe in like keeping people down. I don't believe in hiding information because for me, I can give you the information all day long. It's up to you to use it. I don't want to hide anything. If people really genuinely care about what they want to do and they have a passion for it, I don't mind helping, and I can see that. I saw that with you, because me and you communicated before the project even started. We talked about a bunch of stuff, and then afterwards, so I already knew. When you came to me to ask me to edit, I already knew what you were kind of looking for, and that you were looking for somebody to actually help you understand the process of filmmaking and how things are supposed to go instead of how things kind of went. So I wanted to always make sure that people are well aware of what they're getting into and how I can help them kind of cross this path because it is rough. Filming is very rough. It looks fun, and when the movie comes out, it's all great, but during it's tough.
What would you say is the most challenging part of your job?
Uh, I think the hardest part about writing when you're doing scripts is understanding what needs to go and what needs to stay. Like I said before, as an artist, we're kind of sensitive. We kind of get so caught into, oh, I love this part so much, I don't want to lose it. But then you have to think as a producer, because I write like a director, I direct like an editor, but I make an entire project like a producer. And I start realizing, like, okay, does this move the story forward? Do I need this as a writer? And I start dissecting my own scripts like I would do if it wasn't mine. And then when I come on, when we start doing pre-production, which is casting, I have to make conscious decisions on who is better for the character and not better for the film. As far as like, we might have a good face, like well-known actor, but does this actor fit this character? And making decisions like that, based solely on the art of it and the business of it more than the feeling.
You are very hands on your project,
Yes.
and you don't have a problem working all lanes in your own projects.
Yeah.
I think that's what contributes to you being such a great producer and director and writer, is
I
that you get
appreciate
your
that.
hands dirty in everything
Yeah.
and you learn everything. And that was one of the things that was important to me when I was working on my own project. I wanted to learn and I wanted to do the stuff. And then if I was wrong, let somebody show me what I was doing wrong. But I felt like it was important to get my hands dirty and to learn,
Yeah.
because that's the only way that you're really going to do it.
Yes. Yeah, I think I personally believe in, like, coming from the bottom up. I love the fact that I know every position on set, every single one, because if anything happens, one, I'm humble enough to say I can move a light. I can fill a cooler up with drinks. Because it was a time where I didn't have the money to be able to shoot a film. I didn't have a crew. It was just me for a long time. So I never want to get out of that space of of feeling like I'm too big to do this. And even, on this movie that I'm working on now, I'm here at this house, production house. I just filled up the refrigerator for, the celebrities are in this staging here, and they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, listen, things need to be done. I'd rather just get it done and make sure everybody's happy and that things are moving forward, rather than you did this or you were supposed to do that and you were supposed to, I don't want to do that. I'd rather just get it done, make sure everything is running smooth, because a well-oiled machine performs great. If you don't have the oil, your machine is it's over with.
Yeah, definitely. So let's talk about your crew and the
Yes.
importance of making sure that you have a solid team behind you or working with you.
Yeah, so first of all, shout out my crew, Cash, Calvin, Cowboy, KT, Tajir. Those are my ride or dies, my base crew. They're with me on everything I do. They come on board for little money when I have big shoots, and I could fill their pockets to no money, and they come on board and love every piece. They don't complain. They rock with me all 100%. And um, man, making movies is so tough, and you need a good crew, good consistent crew behind you, because it makes your life so much easier. And if they have the same passion you do, it's just, we my crew. I met my crew in 2018, and we became like an official crew in 2019. And
Mm.
so from 2019 till now, it's the beginning of 2023, we've done 5 short films and 4 features, two which are out right now. And it's like, and that's a very short amount of time, to be doing a lot of films. And when you have a crew that respects you and you respect them equally, I mean, there's no limit, man. The sky doesn't exist. It's just forever.
So as a producer and writer and director,
Mhm.
how many personal projects do you are you averaging doing yearly?
Personal two. I try to do at least 2 personal a year. Now, other people's stuff is more like maybe four. So on average, I might do about 6 to 8 projects total a year. Two of them, might be mine. I'm sorry. Yes, yes. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Two of them will be mine, and the rest of them will be like this one. I'm a producer on. Um, so I've produced 2 films this year. I've produced 2 films this year, and I've shot one that's mine. It's only March, you know. So I got like 3 more lined up over the summer and fall. So it just depends, man. My schedule changes every few hours.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. It does.
Yes. That's why I told
Okay.
you, if you looking for me, if you call me and ask me if I'm free next Tuesday, you better book me, because if you call back in 2 hours, I might not be free next Tuesday.
I think you being modest. That's about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And then that changes because you stay booked.
Yes.
Now, how do you face challenges in the industry? And
Being
what
a woman.
challenges have you, I'm sorry to
Yeah.
cut you off. And what
No.
challenges have you met? Because I know it's a little bit more difficult for females.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
then you're not new, but you know what I mean. So what?
Yeah. So I think being a woman, like you said, is very tough. It's a very male dominated industry. It's not a lot of women. The percentage, it's only about 1% of people in the world are filmmakers. 1%, and then it's less than 1%. And then um, let's say if you have 10 filmmakers, only 3 of them are black, and then only half of them are women. And then I'm sorry, one of them are women, and then half is black women. So that in itself is extremely difficult. It puts me in a lot of difficult situations in meetings, when I'm in meetings with people who are not the same color as me or gender as me. And then sometimes I'll be in a room with nothing but people who look like me, and that do not have the same gender as me, and it's still difficult. But I stand my ground. I let people know I understand what I'm doing. I know who I am. I know what I'm doing, and I know my worth. And I don't take anything that I've ever done, anybody that I've ever known. I don't take anything for granted. I learn every lesson I've ever learned, everything I've ever been through. I take it and I wear it, and it helps pushes me beyond the craziness that I go through sometimes, sitting in some of these meetings and trying to get deals done, when you have to worry about, especially, I think honestly for me, I'm not like the cutesy girl. I'm very tomboyish. I'm very, I'm tough, very tough. So it's very hard for me because I'm not like the guy that the girl. All I'm not the girl that the guys all fall over. So it makes it very, very harder for me. I have to go through, you know, 101 no's before someone actually looks at my work and says, "Oh wow, you're dope." Versus someone who's a looker and they got this, gorgeous physique about them, and then they just come in and say, "Okay, yeah, we can go ahead and fund you." I see that all the time. They get projects funded so fast, but then the projects don't really be that great, or they don't know
Mhm.
what they're doing. I've had to come and help on several projects like that, and but it's fine because everything I get is earned, is worked for.
Right, right. So how do you determine what projects you decide to take on? Because every project is not a good project and fit for
Correct.
you.
That is so true. So one first thing I do is read the script. As a person who's been writing since I was literally 4 or 5 years old, I know story. I know if the story is good. I know if the characters are well developed. If the story makes sense, or how it's going to be. People are calling my phone back to back. I'm sorry. Um, I If the script is not good, I know, and the writer is not willing to make it better. I know off the bat. I don't want to deal with that. If I get into if the script is good, and then I'm talking to the EP, the executive producer, who's paying for the movie, um, if they want to have complete control and I can't have any, I don't want to do that project. If I have an EP that says stuff like, "Well, I'm paying for it, so this is what I want," making movies is a team effort, and it's more about what's best for the film, not what's best for you. So I run
Mhm.
into EPs all the time that's like, "Oh, I want my son or my nephew or my daughter to play the main character." And it's like, well, if your son or your daughter or your nephew is not a strong actor, you're hurting the movie. This is not about you, it's about the film. So I got to make sure the people that are ahead of the leadership of the project have to be good, good-hearted, strong-minded, strong-willed, but also they understand. They're willing to learn. They're willing to be educated. They're willing to compromise, cooperate, and be a team player. Otherwise, it's not going to work, and the movie's going to fall apart, and we're going to have issues. And I don't want to argue on set. I don't want to. I want to making movies is fun. It's hard, but it's fun. and it's been a dream of mine since a little kid. I don't want to be on set feeling like I'm at a job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I understand that
Yeah.
completely. What was your feeling seeing your film in the theater?
Ah, I don't. You can't really explain it. Like the feeling is like the first time you see an ice cream truck, like the first memory you have of an ice cream truck. It is like the greatest feeling in the entire world. You can't describe seeing like when I saw my logo on this 80-foot, you know, screen. It's just I don't all of the like everybody's joy, everybody in the entire world, all of the joy that they have just rushed my body, and I can't even describe it. It's such an amazing feeling just to see something you've put a lot of time and effort and energy and money into just on this screen in front of hundreds of people.
Yeah. And again, I had the pleasure of being there and that thing was completely sold out.
Yes.
And you was very calm.
Yeah.
So no one
I,
I didn't even notice that you was nervous because you
no, I
seemed
was.
very calm and collected.
I tried very hard to hide that, but my stomach was doing backflips and tumbles and cartwheels and all type of stuff, and I even had like little tremors in my hands, and I haven't really been that nervous in a very long time. But I knew I needed to, be content and hold myself together. But I definitely, I mean, I went in the bathroom and kind of shed a little tear a little bit because it was so surreal. It was so magical. It was such a dope night.
Yeah, I called you right after I did my DCP, right after I went to the theater and
Yeah.
checked my project, and you knew exactly what I was
Yeah.
going through because I was just like, "Holy cow!"
Yeah.
It was
It's
really
great.
a cool
Such a great
situation.
feeling. Yes.
Yeah. Do you like writing, producing, or directing better?
I'm gonna say directing. Producing feels like a 9 to 5. It is very hard producing because you're you're in control of literally everything. Like every department reports to you. So you're like producing is like a district manager. Like you're in charge of all of the stores in a district, and so you have to make sure that everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. Otherwise, it falls on you. But I love it, but it's tedious work. It's a headache. It's dealing with different departments. So when something goes wrong in wardrobe, you gotta make sure they're getting what they need. Makeup, crafty, even the actors. Sometimes actors just disappear. You're talking to them for 3, 4, 5 days, and then you don't hear from them. So now you got to replace the actor. You got to replace the camera guy. It's a lot. I would say directing I love the best because it's the most creative part of filmmaking. Writing, I only liked to write stuff that I can direct. I don't like to write for other people. I think if I can do anything, I would be like Gina Prince Blythewood, where she just writes, and puts out her stuff, all the time. She directs other things, but all of her movies, most of them, she's written. And it's like that's the kind of lane I want to be in, where I can just write something out and then get it produced and see it go from my brain to this paper to this screen. That's like my
Yeah,
favorite part of this.
yeah. It's definitely surreal.
Yes.
How do you handle conflicts with your team or actors?
My team and I, we don't really have conflicts, but when we do, because they're males and I'm a woman, so sometimes we have like misunderstandings as far as how things are supposed to go or what to do on certain situations. But we're all the good thing I love about my crew is we're all grown. There's no bickering. It's just like, hey, let's just sit down, let's figure this out. And there's no arguing, there's no yelling, we don't fight each other, we really don't have any problems with each other because whatever it is, there's no head of the team, there's no captain. Everybody's a captain in their own right. I'm the film person. They know they come to me anything related to film, to cameras, to writing, to anything like that. Cowboy is the post guy. He does everything on a computer that's related to sound. That's him. So anything that we need for that, we go to him. Calvin is my on set sound guy. He's dope on set. He gets you squared away, good sound, everything we need on set. Cash is like my he Cash used to do music, but I didn't snatch him up. So now he's in love with cameras. He's my camera guy. So he's gonna be a DP soon. He's getting a really good eye, and learning how to set up shots and how they're supposed to look and dope little movements. And I can't wait to see him in like 2 years, just DPing stuff, big stuff, because he's really, really getting better with understanding how to tell a story with the camera. And then Tajir is like my everything. Whatever I need, he knows how to do. He just come on board. And KT is like my little mentee, PA. She's like my personal PA. Whatever I need. If I need somebody to go to the store, if I need somebody to pick up an actor, if I need somebody to just hold the sign, whatever I need her to do, she's just always there. It doesn't matter. She's just down for the ride.
What's the biggest lesson you've learned on this journey in filmmaking?
Biggest lesson I've learned is probably, um, I say one of them is keep your nose clean. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a tiny, tiny, tiny industry. I mean, I just ran into your son the other day on my set. And now, today, I just ran into the guy who plays Uncle Bobby in your film. He's on my
Oh,
set.
too funny.
So, it's a very small world. Keep your nose clean. Don't be disrespectful. Understand who you're talking to, when you're talking to them, how you're talking to them. Be consistent. That's gonna be the reason why you succeed is consistency. And and just take your emotions out of stuff. That's the biggest lesson. I'm a Pisces. My birthday was just last week. I Listen. I am a heart person. I'm a heart, but I'm also a brain person. You have to learn how to separate the two. Business is business, feelings is feelings. And sometimes they mesh well, but a lot of times they don't. So you just have to know what the situation is and then recognize what's needed. Hey, I need 10% heart, 90% brain. Or I need 50% heart, 50% brain. And just understanding what to use and when to use it.
Okay. I just got two more questions for
Yeah,
you. How
yeah.
do you balance your work life and your personal life?
It's very hard. It's very, very hard. Especially, I think as a woman, men expect you to kind of just be home. And I am not an at home person. I'm a homebody, but when I'm working, I'm working. And so I think a lot of the gentlemen I've dealt with in the past, they didn't really understand that productions is a lot, and we don't shoot a movie in a day. It takes weeks to get this stuff done. You got pre-production, production, and then you have post. Sometimes that turns into months. And a lot of times it turns into months. And, so sometimes I get the complaints that's like, we're not spending enough time. And I'm like, so it is very tough. For me, I don't have kids yet. So it's not really too bad. But I think when I, decide to have one, I want to be able to take a year off, to just be with my kid the first year. And then after that, I'll be on set with bottles and Pampers and diaper rash cream, and and I have to figure out how to balance that at that time.
Okay. My last question is, where can people find you and what projects do you have coming up?
So right now I'm working on a project called 90 Days Past Due. It has Jasmine Guy, Lover, Ed Lover, Chubb Rock, David Faustino. Um, we got a bunch of newbies in there. So I'm thinking that's probably going to come out either the end of the year or the top of next year. I have Thanksgiving is coming out very soon. We're almost finished up with editing, so we're gonna have a premiere for that very quickly. Till My Casket Drop is still doing crazy numbers on Tubi right now. Go check that out. I have a boxing movie I'm working on getting funding for right now. So we'll probably be shooting that during the summer, and then I have another series that someone wants me to shoot in the fall. So I have a lot.
Woo!
Yeah,
You definitely have a lot. Okay.
yes.
And how can people reach you?
You can follow my gram, queen underscore of underscore QII, which is key. You can go to my website, keyfilms.com, QIIfilms.com. People ask me all the time, what does key mean? And it's a made up word. I made the word up based on I love the letter Q. Obviously, my name is Queen, but I didn't. There's not many words that start with Q, and all of them are terrible. They don't mean anything, or they're like food, or So I made up this word, and it basically means to um, create by accident. Like don't be afraid to fail. Whatever you have going on, if you just do it the best you can, even if you fail a little bit, it's something wonderful is going to come out of that. So don't be afraid to fail, because sometimes failure is like the best thing. The best things we have was made by accident. Penicillin made by accident. Microwaves made by accident. And so it's like, don't be afraid to fail. It just create stuff. Create stuff by accident. Accidentally create like the best thing you've ever done, and see how that works out.
That was deep. That was
Yeah.
real deep. Some snaps on that one. Well, I know that you are on set, so I'm cutting this shorter than I normally would because I
Yes.
know that you have to get back inside.
Yes.
I want to thank you so much for being a part of Transparency Talks podcast.
Thank you.
No problem. And with that, everybody, we are out of here, and we will talk to you guys later.
Create something today.
Definitely. All right. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.